911 gets a phone call about a body on a vacant piece of property. When cops arrive, they see the half-naked body of a man. And then they start to canvass the neighborhood, trying to see if anybody heard anything or saw anything of significance, so that justice can be obtained for this murder victim who has obvious injuries to his body. His head is wrapped in plastic. His lower half of the body is naked. Something horrible happened to this man. So now the cops are out looking to see whether they can get any information to figure out what happened to him. Was he dumped on this property by somebody else? Did anybody see that? Did anybody see anything suspicious happening in the neighborhood? Let's see how good you are as a cop. Can you spot the killer? Here we go.
You're right, don't look good.
He hit me with a damn helmet.
Let's talk about what else you did to him. You ever try to light him on fire?
Hell no. Hell no. Well, that's savage as fuck.
Alright.
Yes, ma'am. Do you know anything about it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We just got here. I'm sorry you had to see that. I'm working on getting shields.
Standing down there yesterday down there at the end of the road down there by the door.
Okay. I believe whoever it is, I believe it is. We just got here, so I'm sorry you had to see it. I'm working on setting shields up so you don't have to. All right. Thank you, dear.
Start doing the utilities for this address. And then just listen on it. 10-4. Please, 348. There's 3 hits by address, all the same name, and utilities. It's going to be Michael Jones, and the phone number is 850-656-0547. I put it in the notes. And what was the indication for the alarm here?
Do you want to string it from the pole? Yeah, from there to the pole. I've got a whole nother roll if that isn't going to reach. Hey, are you on call? That's okay. I think we're going to have a 5 for you. Lyle came down here for a alarm on Ridge Road, 20-something-3 Ridge Road for an alarm. Pulled up at the house and there's a dead body in the front yard, face down, heads covered in plastic. You can see obvious blood under the plastic. Bottom of the body's wrapped in sheet. Right by the road. So just from the initial look, I'm saying male. It's face down. We didn't have EMS come. It's obvious. not breathing. You know, you can see where there's going to be trauma on the head because it's wrapped in plastic. We're roping it off. I'm going to put screens up because everybody on Ridge Road can see it. So I'm working on that. I'll call forensics. I just got down here. They checked the house, knocked on the door, no signs of anything on the house, but we didn't go in or anything like that. Yep. Yeah, probably 8 feet off the road. Just a house, like a shop alarm or door alarm, something like that. It's a white person. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I'll call him now. All right. Okay. All right, we'll do it. All right, bye. Yeah, we're gonna look like monkeys humping a football putting this thing up. They all have numbers, and the poles have numbers. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, these are the feet. These are the feet. Always, it takes me a minute to figure it out.
Dispatch Police 203.
Go ahead.
Delayed theft, stolen vehicle, 3000 South Adams Street, 10-foot hold.
That goes in a crossways between those two big ones, and it's got to go through the sleeve. I've used the one in the watch office. It's like halfway put together, but I haven't used this one since they gave each of the sergeants one. We started at opposite ends. Okay.
Help snapping something together.
I'm missing something. What did I miss? I missed something. I guess this one maybe. Here, y'all can figure. Like I said, I've used the one up in the watch office that's halfway put together, and this one is not. So we have feet and connectors. I gotta call forensics real quick. And if we need to put a car by that telephone pole kind of angled, I moved mine up here just to block it from this. And we can get Slade shield and put it here. Yeah, like here. And we'll have to figure out if there's different places we need it, but am I not calling? And then that one will go in the front. Oh, come on, dial already, for God's sakes. Is the whole backyard fenced? Hey, this is Sergeant Baldwin. How are you? Hey, good. You on call for forensics? All right. We have a homicide off of Ridge Road. .203 Ridge Road. And homicide said you will probably need the Pharaoh, so I don't know if Yao needs to come out for that.
Eric Jones jumped on her.
Okay, yeah, that's just what they said. Well, we need the Pharaoh, so I don't know if Yao has to come out for that. Yeah, it's outdoors. It's in a front yard. We responded to an alarm, and officer gets here, and there's a dead body in the front yard. Heads wrapped in visqueen or plastic. Bodies wrapped in a sheet. Dan Warren. Is there another one in? Oh, I didn't realize there were that many in there. And we've roped it off and we're putting up shields.
What, the street?
Any that could break being rounds about 780 domestic in progress.
Yep. All right, bye-bye. Do what?
LP wants to just shut the road down. You want to move your...
Okay, I'm going to back these up just so they're not on top of them because we got tire tracks right there in the yard. You want to shut the whole thing down?
Yeah, we shut it down. We shut it down at State, and
Okay.
then shut it down wherever we can.
Okay.
And we get a body from Northeast and Northwest.
Yeah, we'll probably need one from them if we.
I'll get two from each one.
Okay. I'm just pulling these shields back just a little. Dan Warren's en route, and forensics is en route.
Another suspect has a blue and gray shirt.
Oh, sorry.
Live only and collies not by near lost inside.
And we can move my car if we need to, and put it, to help. I was trying to make sure they couldn't see the body. I was just trying to shield it from traffic. But if we're shutting it down, then nah.
Yeah, because sooner or later you're gonna have somebody press it.
Yeah. So it's just they walked the house, knocked on the door, no forced entry, nothing like that. Got utilities. We'll start doing some data mining. And basically, I was at Dan Warren is on the way.
Bloody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can see there's tire track, but I guess that's where they park. Yeah, that's their driveway. So. I'll move my car down there for the meantime. Let me help out with this since Schultz left him. And if we're shutting. Note to self, since this is the first time we get to leave these pieces and parts in here.
Yeah, simple lock.
I was like, oh, what's the alarm going to be?
When I first put out, I glimpsed it. I just thought it was
At least we didn't roll over him. All right, cool. Okay. I'll go put my car down there until somebody gets here.
Police 348. Let 20.0 Ridge Road is going to be a detour around from State Street. Go around.
Hey, John, I'm going to go close this one. You can just put your car a long ways.
Carrying down south for 2780 right hand domestic in progress at 2723 Cypress Lake Street. All that lines for special work. 7 special traffic out. All of us. 10-4. 1033 on south, trying to clear at 10-10.
Not right now. Let's just hold what we got. And let me have somebody relieve me here, and I'll be back up there. We'll get a few people together, and we'll start on each side. I tell you what, Lyle, will you post up there for the crime scene log for now when everybody starts getting here? And we'll get this blocked off and we'll get started. Police 203 dispatch.
Police 203.
10-4, next unit coming in, if they can, they'll have to approach from the south. If they can meet me at Ridge Road to the entrance to Pine Ridge, and they can take my spot here. Road's blocked at this location.
10-4. 03. I'm en route. A few minutes out.
10-4. Hello. Hey. Unless he wrapped his head in Visqueen and beat himself. Yeah, exactly. Basically, Lyle comes, he responds to an alarm, pulls up, and this guy's, or guy, I say guy, it looks like a guy, my best guess, torso-wise, is 8 feet off the road. Head's wrapped in plastic, bottom of the body's wrapped in a sheet, and you can see the plastic's bloody.
10-4. Received a call at
So
0940.
cold to the touch, etc. Okay, Dan Warren is on call. So he's en route. And then Ridge Road was completely shut down in the 200 block. So, okie doke. I don't know. I've just called him. I've just called Dan. I imagine one of them will come. I don't know who's on call. I don't know what CID sergeant's on call. Alrighty. Thanks. Bye.
I believe there's no way people been driving by here all morning or last night, and didn't see it unless they just totally
Drove by, wouldn't have known it was trash.
Yeah.
They said you could easily drive by and see the thing was trash.
Yeah, just like a pile, unfortunately.
Yeah. But
I saw the tire marks, but it looks like they use that as the driveway, so.
okay, all right. And when I get a chance, I'll shoot a synopsis to you and the chief.
Why we got the alarm now?
Yeah. PIO called.
Oh, you already called him?
No, he called me.
Okay.
Bradshaw did. So I just let him know. I told him Dan Warren's on call. So, yeah. What was the alarm? It was. I thought it said like shop motion or something.
Yeah, they said.
Is there a shop on it?
Well, there's a shed in the back.
Okay.
I haven't cleared. I mean, other than making sure the business or residents are
Uh huh.
I think been here tonight.
Yeah, we didn't have EMS come, so I mean, but
Obvious.
yeah, exactly. Unless we walk, that'll always be my luck. I'll walk in and be like, ah.
The brush back there looked like it hadn't been knocked down in a while. Back there.
Yeah. Okay. There, I put a cone on a receipt that was in front of your car. I don't know that it's related, but when I walked up there, I saw it, so I just put that just to mark it so it didn't blow away. And that's it.
203.
Go ahead.
Or can I have you call 5824 and refer to that call that you're on? That's 5824 extension.
10-4 standby. I am cold. Yeah, sorry, I was coming back up here and we were going to start and then I had to call them. I'm wondering if I move this one over here for the people going that way. Well, don't tell me to call and then don't answer. Oh, that's because I'm calling the wrong number. I was calling 891.
606.
Yeah. 5824. Hey, Morgan, Sergeant Baldwin.
Hey, we at 9:35 this morning.
Uh-huh.
They called in and said there was a body. She saw a body on the ground.
Okay.
And she first described the bag, a person, a white male with a bag over his head.
Okay.
She couldn't provide the address. They had already
Uh-huh. Okay. 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 Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a body with plastic wrapped around the head. All right. So that was at 9:35. Okay. Did y'all get any information on who or what?
203. I'm getting into the area where you need me.
Okay.
510, what's the
What's the rest of you coming in?
Sure. Okay.
I'm coming in from the east. I'm on Gale right now.
Uh-huh.
10-4, just come on in.
Come on in, we'll let you do the crime scene tape and get on the other end.
Okay. All right. And if y'all can mark and save that recording, I'm sure Homicide will want it. Is there anything I need to... Huh? Go ahead. Okay. That's fine, but it was 9:35. Is there anything I need to give her? Okay. And that was this morning?
Hey, 510,
Okay.
get ready to
All
come
right.
through. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and put them on the other end. Hey, Jonathan, after you get here,
Yeah, that'd be great. If they can add, whatever notes they can remember in there, that would be great. And I guess we can leave it all under the alarm, but it's gonna be a homicide. But and with the alarm here, it was just shot motion. It was called in from ADT, but there was nothing, no recordings or nothing like that on it, right? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Bye-bye. Dispatch got a call at 9:35 about a dead body.
Last night?
No, this morning.
did they care to send it out?
No, because it was a female. She said she was driving by, saw a dead body. They went back by. The boyfriend was like, no, it's just a pile of trash. So they didn't send anything because he was sure it was a pile of trash. Said it was a dead body with plastic wrapped around the head. And they came back and he's like, no, it's just a pile of trash.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't want to, so I'm just going to save that for homicide to follow up with. It was a 911 call. Yeah.
I'm going to have Jonathan start knocking on doors.
Yeah, I told Lyle when we get somebody else here, one more person, then I figure if he wants to pick one side of the road, and I was going to have Lyle just, since he's already here, do the crime scene log, then I'll go move my car. I've got crime scene tape around it, so I mean, just so there's somebody down here, and I'll get my car out of the way for you. Came on an alarm, and there's a dead body wrapped up in the front yard. Visqueen wrapped around the head. You can tell it beat around the head.
Holy shit, actually, I mean, like,
Yeah.
full-on assassination, kind of...
Yeah, white. It looks like a white male. So I was like, whoop. Well, I was like, I pulled up. I didn't. He's like, I thought it was trash. Apparently, we got a 911 call at 9:35 this morning about a dead body. And they were like, okay. So they turned back around, and then the girl's boyfriend was like, no, it's just trash. She said it's a dead body with plastic wrapped around the head. He said, no, it's just trash. So they didn't send anybody out. Yeah. Yeah, I got the phone number. I figured I'd just let homicide do it. All right, you've got him started knocking on doors, John.
The guy just rolled up and something. I heard him saying something about because he pulled right there. Whoa! He said somebody got an ADT alarm about something.
This is his house.
Yeah, so
Okay.
some shorts was talking to him.
Yeah, you got neighbors starting to come out now. I'll talk to him. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Mr. Montgomery, how you doing? Just fine.
Whew. It's cold. What you doing out here in a short sleeve shirt? Woo! It's cold. How you doing? I'm Sergeant Baldwin. You know Slade, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
We're obviously out here. Oh yeah? I was gonna say, what's for breakfast? We're out here for an alarm, but unfortunately, found somebody. Have you seen anything, heard anything last night, this morning? Anything weird? See any cars pull up there in the driveway? No. Okay. We're gonna start knocking on doors. I do too. When I can't, I think I was asleep by. I had worked late the past 2 nights. I think I was asleep by 8:45 last night, and that was just because I got home and got situated. Oh yeah. All right,
young man, how you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Just fine. Good.
All right. Does anybody stay at that house normally? That's his house.
That's his house.
Okay, but no cars that you've seen, anything like that. Okay. And what's your address here, Mr. Montgomery? All right. Well, I appreciate it. Daniel. Hey. That was quick. I'm still live. We haven't started Canvas yet because we just got, enough people for perimeter spot.
Understood.
Lyle's doing our crime scene log.
Okay.
Basically, this is the owner of the house, apparently.
Okay.
He just rolled up. Lyle pulls up for an alarm. This house here.
Okay.
Body right there, you can see.
Yeah.
Now, funny thing is, I just got a call from dispatch. They got a 911 call this morning at 9:35 a.m. from a female. It's 9:35:23. From a female driving down the road. Said there was a dead body on the road with head wrapped around, or plastic wrapped around the head. She apparently turned back around, went back by, and her boyfriend said, no, it's just a pile of trash.
Okay. Well,
And was adamant it was a pile of trash. So dispatch didn't dispatch it.
canceled it.
So the
So
phone
now-
number it came in. Specific driving by. I want to say they said it was a white male with plastic wrapped around his head. And then they come back to look.
And no, it's just trash.
Yeah. So I just got that. I figured I wasn't calling. So
All right. So this is the
owner and he
of
got
the
a
house.
notification about an alarm.
Okay. So he got. How do we know what type of alarm?
Paul just backed into your car. Damn it, Paul.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah. I heard it. Copeland and I have the 2 of those, and he's gotten it for Signal 4 on Thursday. It's always something.
Tell Wes to come deal with that.
Well,
good thing is with the new policy, it's just another written
yeah, they changed it back.
because that would be a day off for him.
Yeah.
You just got one left.
Yep.
Always something.
All right.
So, the alarm activation. Do we know? Was it like sensor or motion?
I want to say it said shot motion.
It
I'll
said
get in the
shot-
car and look.
okay,
It was
shot
like
motion.
shot motion.
Hey. All right.
Or you want to walk down here to his car and
Yeah,
we
I'll
can
go
look
talk
at
to
it?
him.
Yeah, he pulled up, thought it was trash. I mean, if you're not looking.
Morning, sir.
He's responding to the alarm.
Okay.
He knows the owners. They don't live here. They
Okay.
live in North Carolina.
He's the key holder, not the owner. Sorry, Dan. Yeah.
He said that they got an alarm here Tuesday. He came by Tuesday to check on it. He says he hasn't spoken to this guy in a while, but they're just old friends, and he's on the key holder list. And since he doesn't live here, he lives in North Carolina now. He comes by and checks on the property. He basically says he kind of uses it as a storage house, like there's nobody living in there or anything like that. He actually owns the house across the street.
Yeah. Now, we have not cleared the house. We have not done anything. We walked around it. It was no forced entry, nothing like that. It was shot motion. We haven't cleared that because we were just waiting. And
did
this
say
is
that
the
was
key
he
holder.
said they got the same alarm on Tuesday for the same thing he came over.
Okay.
So
Morning, sir. You got keys for it?
he's got keys for the house.
Morning. My name's Dan Warren. Hey, I'm Greg Burgett. Nice to meet you, Greg. Can you spell your last name for me, sir?
I got Paul. I think he can check in a few residents and then you can come and start on these.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, he said they live in North Carolina, I guess. Let's see if he wants to call us. Do you want to go down, make an assessment if there's any damage?
Yeah, we need to know the supervisor to go ahead and call him.
Yeah. Oh, good luck.
Check his ID, so we should call the person.
Yeah. I figure we'll let forensics take their pictures and.
Yeah, have we called them?
Mm-hmm. I'll go. Is this other guy with him or lives next door? How you doing, sir? You next door? You live next door? I know I talked to him. I just saw you standing over here. I'm Sergeant Baldwin with the police department. How you doing? Are you awake? Look like we woke you up. Have you seen anybody across the street or see any cars or anything suspicious last night, this morning, anything like that? No. Okay.
I left, 2 o'clock this morning. They go to work and came back at 7. I didn't see nothing.
You left this morning at 2? Okay. And I don't know if you can see, would you be able to see anything in that yard? I didn't know if your headlights hit stuff. Unfortunately, there's a body in the yard.
I took a lift.
Oh, okay.
We didn't see nothing.
You didn't see anything? Do you think you would have noticed something in the yard?
Probably.
Okay.
Across the street right there.
Okay. And what house number is that? 204? Okay, and you left at 2 a.m. And what time did you get back?
I got back at 7.
7 a.m.? Okay. All right. And did you see anything when you came? It would have been daylight then, right?
Didn't see nothing.
Didn't see anything? Okay. And what's your name, sir?
Lord.
Let's see. Last name?
Lord, F-L-O-Y-D.
Oh. O-Y?
O-Y-D.
O-Y-D. Okay. And what's a good number for you, Mr. Floyd?
850.
Uh-huh. Okay. And Mr. Montgomery, I apologize. I didn't get your first name earlier. Raymond. And what's a good number for you, Mr. Montgomery? See, he's smart. He puts on the jacket. You and your short sleeves. It's actually warming up. I was on a call earlier, and I was like, oh, my gosh. Yes, sir. Right in the yard, unfortunately. Right in front of the cars. So, I don't know. These are neighbors that live here. This gentleman took a lift this morning at 2 a.m., got back at 7, but didn't see anything. He thinks he would have noticed. If you can see, like, where the shields are, do you think he would notice if something was in the yard right there?
Would have seen nothing when we pulled in my yard.
Yeah, because it would have been out of the ordinary. So, I have his name and...
Perfect. What's your address? What is it?
204. He's here. And he is Timothy Floyd. And we're starting to just knock on doors. I saw them outside. 850. He took a lift at 2 a.m. to go to work. He returned at 7. What did they just say? Traffic for Ridge Road? Oh, okay. Because they're going in the house. I was like, what did I miss? So that's him. And then this is Mr. Montgomery. He lives here. He said he goes to bed early. He hadn't seen anything. I can put those in my supplement, but I didn't know if you need anything from them.
Yeah, just tell me at the timeline. So at 7 a.m. when you return to
Something in my eye. All right, I'll walk down here and look at his car. Did you walk down there yet? Damn it. Paul? He's all about the mission, sir. I mean, it's city property, so it would just be a incident. Incident. Yep. How you doing, sir? Good. I'm Sergeant Baldwin with the police department. Do you live here?
My mom stayed.
Do you stay here with her sometime? No.
I just come through.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was actually coming back from Panama City, and I seen all this, and I stopped.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see. Okay. What time did you get here? Just before, after us?
Right
Okay.
after y'all.
Does your mom get out much, or is she?
She don't, but my nephew and all them, they was.
Okay. You mind if I talk to them? We're kind of knocking on all the doors right here just to see if anybody, saw anybody out of the ordinary. Sorry, I was coming. I got distracted. Okay, nice. That's what we like to hear. Hey, how are you? Sergeant Baldwin with the police department. Hey, man. You stay here? And you stay here, sir? Okay. We're obviously working an incident across the street, just down the road, this next house, that little greenhouse. And I just wanted to touch base. Last night, this morning, did y'all see anybody, hear anything unusual, or any cars in the area that aren't normal, anything like that? Oh, trust me, I get that. I understand that. I was just telling Mr. Montgomery, I was like, you need to go put on a jacket. What are you doing out here in short sleeves? All right, and so this is 120 Ridge Road? Okay. And are you the person that lives here primary? What's your name, ma'am?
Valerie Caldwell.
And basically, obviously, we're touching base with everybody up and down both sides. So Caldwell, C-A-L?
C-A-L-D-W-E-L-L.
Okay. And what's a good number for you, Miss Caldwell?
850.
Uh-huh. And sir, you stay here as well? Okay. And what's your name? Kendrick.
Yes, ma'am. Same last name.
Okay. And what's a good number for you, Mr. Caldwell?
Same number.
Okay. All right.
My mom.
Okay, perfect. So last night, this morning, and now that little greenhouse, do y'all ever see anybody hanging out there? Any cars in there? Anything like that? Okay.
Know anybody live there?
No, nobody does. That's why I just didn't know if anybody. It's empty.
Yeah, I hardly ever see anybody over that way.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all very much. If for whatever reason, y'all talk to anybody and they're like, oh, definitely get on the phone, give us a call. It appears there may be, there's a body there. I don't know what happened, but, any information, you can always call Crime Stoppers and give information. And okay? All right, guys. Thank y'all. Oh, and that's one thing I should ask you. What time, I know you said you were out here. What time were y'all out here till? That may help us, just timeline-wise.
It had to be about, I think my little brother walked home about 11:30 last night.
11:30?
Yeah, because when he got off from work, he came over and sat over here for a little bit, and then he stayed on.
So y'all were kind of sitting outside? Okay. And what time did y'all go inside?
I got here about 11:30, so about 12 o'clock-ish.
Okay. And what time were you out here before he got here, or did you come out with him at 11:30? So 11:30 to 12, y'all were kind of sitting outside?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And I don't know if you can see, I don't know that you would notice. Were y'all out here at all, or just on the porch?
Right here on the porch.
Okay, so it's not something y'all would notice or see if any cars were down there. All right, sir. Thank y'all. Hey, Dan. You want to throw me your keys and I can pull your your car off the road? I was just going to move it just to get it off the road for you. Since people are stupid.
I'll put a spring on. Thanks, buddy. Hey, sorry, did they sign you out now?
He's out of town, but whoever said he can run the... Yes. Well, and I saw those, and that is the driveway, but I was like, oh, there's some tire things, so the shields, they initially put the shields on them. I backed them up a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to pull it right over here. Just get it out of the road.
Take 4.
This is Party. We got traffic on this channel. Switch to special work.
And Paul, so you know, I have done 120, 203, and the ones right here.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. No problem.
And that's fine. I'll have them take pictures. We'll leave your car exactly where it is.
Yeah, we parked. I think John was here. This was in John's car was parked here. I was behind him, and I saw this. So I had put this on top of it just so it didn't blow away. I don't know if it's related, but. I don't know that I'm tall enough.
You want me to go?
I mean, you can get right here in the street. That's fine. We just blocked it off for media-wise. All right, you should be good. I'm not tall enough, Law. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've done this one. I've done this one, and this one here.
Yeah, he's coming out here, but
Yeah.
this one's not home. I don't know if that's the one John was talking to.
He's the key holder for the alarm house.
The house right behind this one,
Uh-huh.
I got it on a ring. He wasn't home, but the neighbors say he has cameras in the backyard.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
I know I just got yelled at for not being on Ridge
Oh,
Road.
no, you're fine. Did you get his information and stuff?
No, he's on a ring, and I could barely hear him. He could barely hear me. The neighbors said that he has cameras.
I got it.
By the way, I did touch his car, but not now.
Yeah. He went over there. He's like, oh, it wipes off.
Yeah, so I think it's you. Me just working for you. I'm down here one day, and that's what happened.
I said, but the good thing is, I said, even if it were something.
Oh, it's not a good thing. There's no good thing.
Even if it wouldn't be a day off.
Yeah, well,
you know.
whatever. I could use a day off.
So if you'll just start these and hit from,
Talk to this guy.
I talked to here. I didn't do here, and if you'll start there, and we'll
How far
just
down you want me to go?
just the rest of Ridge Road, just to say we did, and then we'll start back the other way.
Okay.
Thank you. Not you don't have to go over Monroe Street. No.
Idea what's going on. But I've got your phone number, so what I'll do is I'll pass it along to you.
Yeah, and they thought, I mean, they're responding to an alarm call. Okay. Which I don't think that's going to be related to it at all.
The house directly behind here
Yes, sir.
has a ring system, but they were not there. Paul couldn't really hear him, but the neighbor next door said he has cameras all around.
Awesome.
So, I mean, it's behind it. I don't know that that'll help you, but
maybe.
you know. So, but he couldn't get his information because the ring wasn't very clear.
Right.
But so he's at least got the house number.
That'll work. Yeah, I got Nick, Kelly, and I think Jerry. When you get here, I'll have to start canvassing.
Well, and we've done from here. Paul is going down Ridge Road, or do you want him to stop?
No, if he wants to do it,
Yeah.
look for cameras. That's great.
Yeah.
So I think our big one's going to be that gas station. God willing, they came this way or
Yeah.
that way.
So he's starting and going that way and knocking on doors, and we've done to here. We haven't gone from here down yet.
Gotcha.
So when John's finished or whatever, I'll have him start. I've got Lyle here for crime scene stuff. I'll have him start at this house here and work at least down to the cars.
Okay.
So that works.
Jacket.
Yeah.
Was okay, but
Yeah.
next time that wind picks up.
I moved you right over there.
Thank you, man.
What can we do for you?
First thing, he's going to make sure we have all the tire impressions documented.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, like I said, these are ours, I'm sure. John parked there, I parked behind him, and then, John pulled out. So, I mean, that one's going that way, so I don't know that one would be ours.
Right.
But,
yeah, I'm hoping, here, slide them out. Basically, we're going to work from the outside in after he has everything that we need forensically move in a little closer, and then we'll start looking at
Okay.
them. They'll do the FARA, but that should be really quick.
And we didn't call EMS. I mean, you know, oh, they're like, you need EMS. I'm like, no. So it should at least be timestamped for that. I mean, Lyle obviously had it first, but
yeah, and the information they're giving us is at least down to a 2.5 hour window for the tone.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
from 7.
The first 911, 9:35, 7.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, some use this rig. So.
not a ton of video to have to go through.
Yeah.
I just hope everybody can just chat quickly.
Sure. Yep, I'll give it back to you. So.
Yeah.
We're still different for this 19 hours study the guy for BODYCAM.
All right. Well.
Grab my jacket.
All right. Will you start either side of the road, either this house or this house, and just let me know? I've got that one.
Okay.
So either that one or that one, either side of the road. Just start down one side and make your way back up the other.
And just pass on to me. I talked to the homeowner on the phone. He hasn't lived here in years, but he knows about it. That's not him, obviously.
Okay.
I talked to him and his wife. And I'll just pass his information.
Okay.
Along.
Cool. And we're just looking for, try and make contact. If you can't, just note it, and any cameras, stuff like that. Do y'all still need traffic for any reason? Huh.
That's traffic still for us down here on
Are you about to go ahead and clear traffic?
Yes, ma'am.
Or copy that?
Alright. So we won't take this whole thing apart when we put it back in here. Alright, I've got Paul going down one side of Ridge Road, making his way down the back the other way. And I've got John starting here, making his way down one. And
That call came in at 9:35.
the 911 call?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's weird how it was 9:35 and then the alarm was 9:40. That's weird. I gotta sneeze. Oh.
My thing is recording everything.
Woo! Glad I didn't say anything too bad to Cindy's wife.
No, I don't know. It got on my alarm thing.
That's funny. And Dan's got everybody heading out. And that's just shady, because she was pretty specific, and then it's like, no, it's just traffic. Whatever. Bradshaw couldn't figure out who that last person was. I'm just not used to seeing. I was like, who's Bee? John, don't get eaten, please. John's like, hello. I know. I was like, don't get eaten.
Especially 307 at SO 254 showing the closest unit. Copy on a traffic crash with Confronting at 845 with Bradford Road.
Chief. He's here talking to Dan. Huh?
I guess I don't have to send an email.
You know, he still wants it.
All right, I got Otley arriving here. found the body. CID on scene with forensic. CDA about to call and currently canvassing the neighborhood for possible witnesses.
And video. Cameras. Yes. You made it out here quick. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, me.
Don't step on that. Or that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, you're talking to Mr. Montgomery.
I'm trying to figure out I need to put my jacket on.
It's not, well, now I got on long sleeve. It's not as cold as it was when we first got here. I'll at least give it that. And that's my cone. You can move it. I was trying to make it not fly away.
It's going to be around Confronting to the building. The water's about to collapse. The classification is disoriented and hurt inside.
Yes, sir? Good thinking. If you need me to move any of the shields, let me know. I mean, we were just trying to block them from...
That's fine. I'm not going to even get in there
Okay.
because I don't want to miss any of the tire trucks up or anything.
I'd hate for you to walk over it, be stuck on the bottom of your shoe.
No, I ain't going to take it home on my shoe. Then my wife had to coach me. Every time somebody come in the street hall, I would floor.
I remember Bartell Clemens, 2525 Texas Street, searching somebody. He didn't have gloves on. He reached in, this guy pulled out a used condom. And he's like, dude, what is it? He's like, no, you gotta pack out. I can't leave it there. I was like, and he didn't have gloves on. I was like, dude. And he was like, what is it? I was like, drop it. Drop it.
Can't tell for which one is the
On your way. It's the only part of being a supervisor on scenes like this when everything's done. I ain't got nothing else to do right now. Just being out here in the sun though. I asked him what was for breakfast, since we were going to be out here for a while. Bill Brandon down there. Oh, canvassing, yes, sir. Yep. It's got to be CID, or no, it's got to be a resident somewhere, maybe. Let's see. Unless we got some of those. No, it's gonna be a resident. Okay. Hey, good.
You heard about the 911 call?
I know there's one directly behind them that has Ring cameras. I don't know if I get anything, but right behind them supposedly has them all around. But he's not there. The neighbor told us that, so And Paul tried to talk to him on the Ring camera and couldn't get much.
Subject got the vehicle now, you figures 10-4.
Yeah, just once that's done, I want to give them the food and but I think it's probably yeah, I was actually talking to the guy Rachel yesterday from last guy from that. What's better as far as sending it off and trying to do DNA off of it, or can we get prints off of it? So. Yeah, that's what we came up with.
Once you do the prints,
the DNA is gone. So it's
Oh,
but if you start swabbing, then your prints are gone. So it's
I mean, you could swab around and still print no matter what, but chances are you're gonna ruin them. So yeah.
So we'll get
I
there.
need
But
one more.
Be careful with that bag.
Okay.
DNA one side and print the other, just to
Yeah.
see what you know. Lyle said he just touched the torso, you know, just to check it, but that's all the disturbance that it's been.
The exposed torso?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make sure we don't swab that part.
Yeah. Hey, Lyle, come here real quick, and just to double check.
And that when you, I'm checking the crucial light, exactly where was it? Like the top back, the right side, the left side.
Please have one back, go ahead.
Body for foreign DNA. I don't want to get back. Okay. Is it more to if we were to take it?
Do you have gloves on? Okay,
Oh,
so it solves that.
Yeah,
I
we're
just
good.
wanted to make sure. So I just wanted to let them know that we didn't disturb anything.
70, a black Honda, and GFS. Copy.
Yeah, and that kind of goes with what the caller said driving by too. You know, it's one and the other. It's that.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. If
No,
they came back to look at it, when she saw it going by, came back and looked at it, and we're looking at it and going, no, that was
You just
trash.
don't want to be involved.
Right.
Or your boyfriend didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got something going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was exactly, and then you drive by and see that, and then you come back and your boyfriend's like, no.
I could look at that. He's got his pants on. I don't know if he's.
I thought about it, probably
No.
Yeah.
No. Thanks.
Yeah. No, I don't know. And I'm assuming it's a man. I mean, it could be a
Could be.
woman with, who knows?
Yeah, best we could tell.
Yeah.
And the tire impression, we solved the share road tire impressions back to the car.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you can see they use that as the driveway. I don't know when the last time. And this guy got the alarm yesterday. I wonder if he came yesterday for the alarm or not. So, I don't know if he came by to check on it or just got the notification.
Yeah, I think he said he came by. I mean, I'm pretty confident. He's there. They cut through here, and that drag mark, they put him there, dump him, and he's gone. At least that's the way I read it. We'll see if what comes back as we move forward. I had a feeling this weekend.
I know. I called him on the phone. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a fight, like a suicide." I was like, "No."
No, I was like.
And Bradshaw asked me. He's like, "Is that really gonna be a fight?" I was like, "Unless he wrapped his head in the screen and beat himself to death." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
That's what I told George. He had himself on the back of the head.
And I told him you were on call because he's like, "They don't want me to put something out, but I'll wait till we don't know what they want me to put." So.
Yeah, the standard.
Yeah.
We're working on the condition.
Yeah. Let's see if that 911 caller calls back. That'll be interesting.
Well, I'll go find her.
Oh, yeah.
Once we get done with this. Or at least somebody will go find her.
Yeah. We look like monkeys humping a football trying to get those shields or those screens together because I have.
The wind.
Well, I haven't used those before. The ones in the watch office are quasi already put together,
right?
And these hadn't been used at all, so it didn't have any of the poles in it. And I was like, "Wow!"
Like putting that puzzle together.
Yeah, exactly.
What can I do to help you?
Right now.
We're not actually doing this, but
I think after that other one,
Well, you get the case number, sir?
And they were going to dump those notes for that 911 caller.
Into this one?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And it's still in there as an alarm, I assume. But
Yep.
which, how is that? 9:35 they see the body, and 9:40 we get the alarm. How weird is that?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
that's
like
crazy.
right then. I wonder if they went up and knocked on the door or something, or
But if it's the little shed box,
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
little gap, if the animal got in there or what, or
Yeah,
I don't know. Big Dad's kids just want us to find them sooner.
yeah. Yeah, that's weird that it was 9:35 they called, and then this came at 9:40. It's just like,
We'll still process all the door handles.
Yeah.
On out.
Especially 203. If you're not 10 copy call holding.
Is there?
Go ahead.
That's nothing.
Looking for 1917 Jet Drive. Caller about the male subject tried to turn her door handle and possibly went to other apartments. Negative hazard 10-4 hold.
10-4. He's not 10-12 with her anymore, or at her place.
10-4. She's not at her place at the time.
10-4. So I've got Paul. Like I said, Paul's going down one side and back the other. John was doing the same from here down because I've talked to these three. So he was doing here down one side and up the other.
Perfect.
So.
Is he just going to the first intersection?
Yeah.
Or to the park?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And that's Pine Ridge. That's the entrance to Pine Ridge. And then if we need to, I mean, we can go back to Arden. We hadn't done that yet, but we'll hopefully by the time your guys get here, we'll go at least hit Ridge Road. And it looks like we've gotten people at most places.
Yeah.
I mean, now these guys, like a son lives here, said his brother got home and they were outside, 11:30, 12 o'clock sitting on the porch, but you can't see here from the porch. But they didn't see anything, but went inside about midnight.
Yeah, I'm really his time showing on the clock. That would be great.
And I'd figure out who his lift is, see if they have video in the lift. Because a lot of them do. Can I hold or help you do anything? Okay. So, because some of them have video inside and out, just. What?
The videos in the lifts?
Some of them do. I mean, it depends on the individual person. Just liability-wise, if I was driving a Lyft, so I've been in a couple of Ubers that have it.
Okay. Very good.
So,
I've never used it, but that's good.
Yeah.
I know that.
Some of them have it that, points out, and some of them have them that point in. I don't know that they will, but
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them at Costco. You can buy this.
So some of them do.
Make that happen.
And he may be able to give you his receipt and who his driver was. He's still sitting on his porch. If he can pull it up, it can say who the driver was and the transaction number.
The only one that
Are you walking through the woods?
Yeah, what's that back? The guy who lives down there, all the neighbors are he knows everybody. He said, I can tell it's a white guy from here, right? And I said, yeah. He's like, the only white male that lives around here that I ever see walking down the road lives around here. He said he gets stuck a lot and sees him stumbling on the side of the road.
Okay.
But he says he has a gray Dodge Challenger, so I'm going to see if I can find him.
Okay.
Touch
and make sure
but
he's
other
there.
than that, no one's got cameras.
Okay.
So,
All right.
that's the only thing I've able to get.
Okay.
637, the incident number is going to be 12676. Repeating 12676.
And I know Paul did, I think, like a couple of these right behind. I know he did those, so just so you don't have to do those again.
Yeah, I was just looking for whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did on both sides, all the way down to the trailer park.
Okay, thank you. And in your supplement, it'll be, even if they weren't home, at least document that. It's the only problem being the supervisor on one of these, and not being in COD is once everything gets going, I'm like, no. I'm like, I got it. I'm good. Nick Roberts. We kind of put the actual crime scene down here, and so that was just to keep the media out crime scene. It is. Dan is on that front porch talking to the guy. He got a lift out this morning and a lift back this morning.
The guy.
He left at 2 to go to work and got back at 7. He didn't see anything. I told Dan, I said, some of the lifts have cameras in the cars, so, that could be something to check on. We pulled up on an alarm and pulled up on the alarm with a dead body.
Was the alarm house occupied?
Vacant house. We've been in it and cleared it. This is the key holder. The owners live in North Carolina, and he's the key holder. He got the same alarm on like Tuesday for the shop in the back. So, because we had not cleared it when he got here after the fact, we went in and cleared it just to make sure, and it was all good. So, yeah, I mean, it's 8 feet off the road in the front yard. So.
Good morning. Yes.
Happy to be here. So. Dan didn't want to believe me when I tried to tell him.
I was just What's the address? It is 203 Ridge Road. Case number is 1265.
Keep going.
203 Ridge is vacant? Correct. There's nobody currently living there. We cleared it. Everything was dirt. There's an alarm yesterday. Where Aaron and wanted something to get in. The alarm went off yesterday. The first incident, the first report in there was at 9:35. There's a 911 caller. Guys dead on the side of the road. Female. There's a male in the car. Called back and ultimately said, yeah, it's probably just trash. So it wasn't dispatched, so we get the alarm clock. Yeah. So we need to give it her 445 8827.
Anything good?
Yeah, nothing from nobody so far except there's a young man, a young boy on this side said he heard what sounded like a traffic crash around 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, what was you? Sorry.
I don't think he would have heard that one.
Yeah, sorry.
I decided I don't want to come over you. Anyway, not that the personnel order said I was gonna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway, he said he heard a traffic crash. He was on the phone. He's, I don't know, 07, so 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
He said he heard a traffic crash around 2 o'clock in the morning. He was on the phone. He said 1:59, 2 o'clock. So it was exactly that time. Now remember, we called you this morning for some people up there shooting at Joe Louis, and they both crashed up their cars, and they ran. They wouldn't come out and report the crash and all like that. Stuart York wrote a FIR on that.
Okay.
So I don't know if they tied, but
okay.
All
right.
Because that was 6:15 in the morning, but
yeah. Okay.
So that's certainly a delay, but.
All right. Any luck?
Oh. Yeah, they're not there. I just told you that.
No, I was walking back over there.
Yeah. Well, it's the one next door. They're home. Big fans of the police, the whole 9 yards. They didn't hear anything. The one next door to that guy's got cameras. He just drove up and flagged me down because the ring thing, I couldn't hear him.
So the white guy that's drunk and walking around, his car's there, but he's not there.
The guy who has the cameras pulled up and flagged me down. When you were calling me on the radio,
probably nothing.
So he came over here and he said, look, my wife's in the hospital, I'll check him later, and stopped to pick up his daughter and left. So I don't know. The fence is like a 10
yeah, that would be
all the ones we already have.
Yeah, but the ones we already have. Because you're still the view from that store. We made a partial video, much like when they came through that intersection. If we had that one,
my mom said,
probably nothing. But John talked to somebody that said the only white guy they know in this area is a white guy that lives back here and drives like a gray Challenger or something, and he normally stumbles around drunk. He went back, the car's there, but nobody's answering the door. Probably nothing. I don't know that it's the same, but because it's
200 Arden.
which is parallel to us on the back. So probably nothing, but just
Just in case we were looking, we could pull up the driver.
Knock on her door at 117 Ridge Road, and she would like for them to give her a phone call. I do have the number.
And we're not doing crime scene from here because that was
It's
our
going to be
crime
area
scene,
code
so we were just doing logs from there. Or do you want it back here as well?
9510, repeating 404.
Call it enter and out.
Right, okay.
9510.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure. Because we weren't logging everybody in here.
No.
That was our media line.
She did not provide a name.
And Paul, on your stop, if you'll just add, even if you didn't make contact, just.
I'll go through all the addresses and what I got.
Alright, cool. This came out, I was heading to go to the bathroom. The one thing about being the supervisor on this end of the patrol side when you have these, because you get everything done, then you're like, alrighty, you know. I'm like, what do you need? Mine's been on them. It's like, I guess I can cut it off. So go back up there.
Morning.
Morning.
Are you Tina?
No, I'm not. My daughter's
Good morning, Susan. How are you?
I'm alright. Trying to figure things out.
Sure. I talked to your mom this morning, and
Yes.
she had some information for us about a case we're working, so she told us we could come by and talk to her.
Yes, absolutely.
Doing okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm a widow, so I really.
What, wait here for her?
I don't want to.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's early. Good morning, Eric. I'm alright. How are you this morning?
There's some better days.
Alright. Dan Warren, we spoke on the phone.
Mine is well.
James Oakland. No problem.
About that. That means your hands are clean.
Exactly.
Rich Solidarity, one of the best friends.
Hi, Rachel.
Sorry to be too many circumstances. What I would like to do is, and I don't mind talking to everybody, but because what you saw could be really important,
Okay.
and I want to explore that with you. I need us to have a place where you and I and my partner can talk. It's one of those rules when we interview people.
She was there with me on the front porch. My daughter was.
And
So
that's
we'll
even,
do that.
Okay, that's even a better reason why she can't be here while you and I talk. I
Okay.
actually want to talk to you separately so you guys don't influence each other.
Exactly. I understand that.
Yeah,
We'll have a
thank you very much.
No problem. Get the jacket on the cold.
Well, like I said, I know we talked on the phone. I understand how
You're the one I spoke with?
Yes, ma'am, it was me. How you came to know? Well, you knew Johnny's mother, but how you came to know him. In talking, one of the things I want to do is just have you promise me to tell the truth. I'll put you under oath. It's not because I think you would ever lie. It's just because it elevates our conversation to a higher level of evidence. So, as I introduced myself a couple times to you, I am a sworn law enforcement officer. I'm conducting an official criminal investigation. Any false statements made under oath can constitute perjury. It's a first-degree misdemeanor according to Florida statute. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand for me? That's all right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the evidence you're going to present to me to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Do you further understand that if you knowingly make material misstatement of fact, just a fancy legal way of saying if you lie to me on purpose, you've committed crime perjury?
Yes, sir. I would never do that.
Well, what I would like to do is just listen to what you have to tell me, and if I have some questions, well, actually, say that. Let's start off with, how did you know Johnny? Just tell me about it.
I've known him his whole life. I remember when his mom got pregnant with him. So,
Do you mind if I turn that fan off?
absolutely.
Let me try to hear you better.
I've known him my whole life.
Did they live around here, or?
They did, Johnny. I mean, they lived here and then they moved away to Everett, Washington, and that's where Johnny was born. He was actually born in Bellevue.
Yes, ma'am.
Bellevue, Washington. But I've known him his whole life.
Okay.
And he is a good boy. He's always been a good boy. He was gay. He realized that he was gay probably about 15,
Sure.
16. But that's how I know Johnny. I've known him his whole life. He's been in and out of town living. When his dad passed away, he moved to Jacksonville. So he stayed over in Jacksonville for a while.
Okay.
And then moved back. But Johnny did not have a drug problem. Johnny he had prescribed Adderall.
Okay.
And what I really seriously think happened, I mean, it doesn't matter about that, but what I want to go back to is telling you about this man that drove up here.
Okay, so I'm going to summarize what you said.
Okay.
Suffice to say, you know Johnny his whole life. You were family friends. Did he live with you at one point?
Close friends, like
Okay.
daily friends.
Like
when I-
family.
When I was on vacations, friends.
Okay.
That type. I mean, we'd all load up in one paper houses down at St. George and
Sure.
and Mexico Beach. I mean, that's
Yes,
how
ma'am.
close we were. He did not live with me, but he stayed here for about 4 days,
Okay.
5 days, maybe a week.
But how long ago was that?
Week before last.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago.
No, let's see. It was right before Christmas.
Oh,
My
okay.
fault. My bearings right before Christmas. He stayed with us.
And that's good enough as a time frame. So he stayed 4 days before Christmas with you.
Mm-hmm.
All
With
right.
Rachel out here in the trailer. He spent one night in here with me,
Yes, ma'am.
and then the rest of the time he stayed out there in the trailer, in the back trailer with Rachel.
Yes,
Which they're all been friends their whole life.
Sure.
I mean, Rachel has a trailer behind your daughter's?
Yeah, the real ragged trailer back here.
Okay, and that's where Rachel is?
Yes.
And your daughter?
It's Nicole. And
Nicole,
she was
she's
over
right.
there in this one.
Okay.
She won the Powerball. I gave her, when my mom passed away, I gave her this part of this property.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Hey.
But anyway.
All right, so 3 trailers, 3 y'all. He stayed here a couple days.
He went over and talked to Nikki and
Sure.
spent a couple hours with her, and then he spent most of the time back there with Rachel.
Okay.
But me and him talked. I've known Johnny his whole life, and he come in
Yes,
here
ma'am.
and we ate. I cooked dinner for him, and we talked,
Right.
and got caught up. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
ma'am.
Because I hadn't seen him as an adult prior to that for about 5-6 years.
Okay. Let's talk about when's the last time you actually talked to Johnny? Last communication you had with him.
Seen him face to face.
Well, let's do
Or
both.
on the
Let's do on the phone and face to face, unless they're the same thing. The last time you talked to him, would that have been by phone or
On text, on Messenger.
on
I
Facebook
was getting
Messenger?
on to him because they said that he was staying over there on the empty lot in his truck. He stayed in his little truck 80% of the time.
What did his little truck look like?
It was a bluish, silverish little SUV.
Okay. Do you know how he got that?
Through a finance company of
Okay.
some kind, or maybe a pay here buy here. I don't know how.
Okay. Gotcha.
But
Okay.
just by him talking, it was to me like he had got it from a pay here buy here company because he was upset because he was thinking they were going to come get it because he didn't have the tag legal on
Okay.
it and they were going to repossess it.
Okay.
And he was worried about that because my car was broke. My car is still broke down. It's running hot, as I was telling you.
Yes, ma'am.
So he was letting me borrow his truck to take my granddaughter to school.
Okay.
So I took those couple mornings he were here. I took his truck and went to work. Took my granddaughter to school.
All right. So let's nail down. Let's take that piece and make it a little more specific. When did he tell you that he was worried about the finance company coming to get the truck because of the paper
The
tag?
second night was here. The second night he was here.
So this is back in December.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's talk about.
I haven't talked to him on Messenger since right after Christmas.
Okay.
In January maybe. I can look back on my phone, but it was
Okay.
just it was just briefly. I said, "Don't stay on the streets. Don't stay in your car over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Over there on
So-
the truck out. You don't lie to me." I said, "Don't lie to me. If you got a little boyfriend you're staying with, just say that, but don't make me feel like that you're on the street." Because his mother's passed away,
Sure.
And you know, he was having sibling issues with his sisters,
Yes, ma'am.
and he didn't want to stay with them, and so he was very trying to be self-sufficient and staying in his truck.
Sure.
Where's this lot you're talking about, Tina?
It's over on I can't think of the roads right now, but you know, go down Carverville Highway, you turn right on the truck route, or turn left on the truck route, you go down to where that road goes. Yes, Burger King. You go straight. You know where Burger King is, right here on Carverville Highway, and you keep going, and you go around the curve, and you know how that road goes straight.
Mm-hmm.
He goes down in there, and his dad and mom lived down there. Well, it was actually his grandma's property. I can't think of the road. It's like
Do you remember her name?
Spooner.
So being a Spooner name, though.
Yeah,
for sure.
Spooner. I'm trying to think.
So it was
I
his
know their
daddy's.
name.
It was his daddy's mom.
Richard Spooner. Richard Spooner was his dad,
Okay.
and that was Richard, which is Johnny's daddy. That was his daddy's property.
Okay.
So I'm saying it was his
So
granddad's
it's
property.
all in the Spooner.
All
family.
Spooner. Yes, absolutely.
And is it still to this day Spooner property? Or
Yes.
is it sold? Okay. But there's no one lived out there. It's just vacant lot.
No, and he would go out there because it was where he had stayed with his mom, and you know them. He
Sure.
would periodically go in. Him and his brother Austin would stay with them there on that property.
Are there any
Even though
buildings?
They were divorced.
Are there any buildings on that property anymore?
There was an old trailer. A tree had fell on it. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if they've cleared that off or not.
All right. Does your daughter know where it is?
Rachel does.
Okay, so
Rachel knows
she might be able to take us to it
I've
if we
been there
need her
100
to.
times. I just can't tell you that name of that road.
Okay.
You know, you go
You
straight,
described it for me.
Yeah.
and it's that straight road to the left in there, and it's, you know, there's a white. I know there's a white house across the street.
Yes,
and then
ma'am.
That lot is here.
All right.
But
So
he'd go there and park.
okay, and he would just sleep there.
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk about the last 2 weeks. Have you had any contact with him in the last 2 weeks? By Facebook Messenger, text message, phone call, in person?
Mm-mm.
Nothing in the last 2 weeks. Okay.
Not except just hearing her talk about him and saying he sent a picture, and I've
Your-
watched
your
it on
daughter?
Facebook. Rachel.
Well, Rachel. So here, Rachel. Okay.
Yeah,
And we'll
he
probably want to
was
talk to
fine,
her
and
too.
He was, yeah, because you want to know some of this information
Sure.
these girls have got that they told me this morning. I was like, you have to tell them.
Sure.
I don't care what it is, they got to know.
All right.
So they have to tell you.
But so for
I
the
got them geared up. They're gonna tell you the truth. They're gonna tell you what he said.
very good. So, moving on from that piece, I think we're kind of caught up. I don't want you. I understand that they told you certain things, but
Right.
so for you, in the last 2 weeks, you haven't spoken to them, but you know that they have.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about.
Well, I know Rachel's talked to him the last 2 weeks. When he was
Okay.
telling what Nikki knows, it was during when he was staying with us right before Christmas.
Gotcha. Okay. So Rachel for sure. Nikki maybe not. So let's move up to what you'd called about. So you said last Friday. So today being Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, 3 days ago.
Yes, sir.
So tell me what happened last Friday.
Nikki was sitting on the front porch smoking
Yes,
a
ma'am.
cigarette. I was standing right there at the window,
Okay.
and
About what time of day was that?
it was around 1:30, almost 2 o'clock. Around, between 1:30 and 2. Because Nikki, we have to pick up the girls at 3. So she had come over and we were talking about the rain. We wanted to work in the yard, blah, blah, blah. I was aggravated.
Okay. And then what happened?
I looked out the window and I said, somebody's coming around. Because you can hear them, it's quiet back here. And I said, yep. And I thought they were going down here at the end, probably because they got all this for sale.
Sure.
So we just sat there and watched them a minute. And this dude drives all the way up in here behind Nikki's, right there on Nikki's septic tank where it comes up.
Right. Were you guys on Nikki's porch or your porch?
Oh, here.
Okay, so you're on your porch, yes.
Yeah. I'm looking out this window right
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
Not this one, but on the front porch. And I was like, oh my God, Nikki, because everybody's been hit back here, and they say they just roll up and bust in the door, and it's been horrifying back here. That's why we've been keeping the gate shut.
Sure.
But
And what?
he pulled up, and then I opened up the window more and pulled it back. And then I leaned down through the window like this, put my hands in the window like this, and he backed up and then pulled right up in the front right here.
All right. So was his driver's side window facing you, or was he looking at you through the passenger side?
No, his driver. He pulled up where I'm talking to him like this.
Look, so we see how far you and my partner are right now. Maybe about 4 feet, 4.5 feet. Was it about this close or closer?
It was further.
It was further. Okay, so a little further than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little further.
All right.
But I could see him.
All right. So
specifically what he looked like.
All right. So let's talk about for that for a second. Let's first talk about this truck and then maybe him. So what did this truck look like?
It was a black Dodge, a real big one, brand new. Looked like it could have been 14 or 15, maybe even 18. It was a nice one. I remember seeing silver chrome, maybe chrome door
Handles?
No.
Or your
wheels.
Chrome wheels? And that's good. Anything out? Any stickers? Any tint on the car? Roof rack? License plates?
After he left, it dawned on me I should have got it.
Okay, that's...
And from now on, when I start seeing cars, man, I'm going to see a lot of different anyway. Because all of us girls back here.
Sure. So...
Whenever we were pulling in, there were signs up about being on camera.
That's
Are there cameras up?
No, but that's my fake signs because we have people coming down here parking all the time. My neighbor down here, I've lived here 35 years. So my neighbor back here bought this property back here. So this road should be nobody coming down, but we have the horriblest people coming and sitting right there.
Do you know if any of your neighbors have a camera?
No.
Okay.
They do not.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. That's a certainly good idea. And I can understand putting that sign up.
I'm trying to deter it. Because they'll sit down there and park.
No, I understand. A sign's almost as good as a camera.
Yeah. And some people buy cameras, don't even hook them up.
Like I say, we're all women back here.
Sure. Okay, so we've talked about the car. Let's talk about the guy. What can you tell me about him? What did he look like?
He was black.
Okay.
He could have been in his mid-40s. Big black man. Bald head. He was big.
Like,
any facial hair?
Like fat or muscle?
Fat.
Fat. Okay.
Yeah, fat. Big fat man.
Facial hair?
I want to say he had something going on his face. Maybe not too much. A little bit.
So like maybe
bald
stubble?
Head, all no hair. Maybe something right here, you know.
Okay. Let's continue to
Big face.
Big face. How about his complexion? Was he? I know you say he's a black male. Was it lighter, darker?
Darker.
All right. Do you remember any type of piercings or tattoos or? All right. Let's talk about his clothing. All right. So we're moving down.
Black jacket on.
Black jacket.
A black jacket.
Did that look like an athletic jacket? Did it look like maybe more of like a dressy jacket, maybe like a work jacket or
like
something
a
else?
Work jacket, you know, like a maybe. I mean, it looked like a work jacket, zipped up front. No, it had no collar on it because he didn't have.
Did it have a logo on it, or what makes you think it's a work jacket?
Just it was zipped up, and you could see because it was cold. I mean, you could just see. He had his arm out the window like that. I could see it was a jacket.
All right, what type of material? If you could see
like
it,
jean jacket, but black.
Okay, so maybe like your pants are made out of denim, or would it be something else? And if you don't know, that's fine to say too.
It was just like a maybe like a work jacket. You know,
Okay,
like that.
all right,
like something like that.
Okay. Anything else that sticks out to this guy about you? Is your vision of in your mind anything else that makes you?
Just it was big. Had a big face.
Okay. About how long did the two of you talk?
Maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. Do you think you would recognize him if you saw him again?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were shown like a series of pictures, do you think you'd be able to point him out?
Yeah,
okay.
big face. Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you mean by big face.
He had big cheeks.
So they were really like puffy, fat cheeks? Yeah. Okay.
And his head was round. He had receding hair right here. And he was leaning out so I could see his face more.
If it was bald, how could you tell it was receding?
Just because his head he was coming out talking because it was raining and he couldn't hear me.
Okay.
And he kept putting his head out.
So you could see a little bit of the hair and then it had come back, receded that way. But it was still bald.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like hair, you know, it was real like yours.
Okay.
But it was back further.
Okay. But there actually was hair though on his head.
Yes.
Okay.
Like black, you know, fuzz.
Sure.
Fuzz. But all of this was
face.
All face.
All right. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Why you say that a big face.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So
talk about what he looked like, a little bit about the truck. One more thing I was thinking, and sorry, my brain's going all over the place, but for the truck, I know you said big one, nice one. Did it have any type of like aftermarket lift on it? Was it like super, super high, or was it more of like a stock look? If you know.
It was pretty big, pretty high. I don't think it was stock. I mean, I think it was stock, but a big, one of the newer Ram trucks that had the Ram on the front of it.
Okay.
I remember seeing the Dodge. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was a Dodge when we drove up because of the Ram on the front.
Okay.
Or maybe like the Dodge.
Did you ever leave the porch? Or you talking through the window?
No, I told Nikki shut the door because she had it cracked open. I said, shut the door.
Right.
No.
And did Nikki talk at all, or was she just there?
The way things are going down in this neighborhood and everything.
Yes, ma'am. Did Nikki talk at all, or was she just kind of standing there?
She didn't say a word.
She didn't say a word to him. Okay.
Nikki has emotional seizures. Her husband just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So
she mentioned that to us.
Yeah, she told us
about that.
So you have to be very careful with her.
Okay.
She'll have a seizure and a heartbeat, and it's life-threatening when she has one.
Oh,
And
no.
we have to be careful because she has a 5-year-old.
Okay, yeah,
So
absolutely. So it sounds like to me, of the two of you.
I mean, not a 5-year-old, I'm sorry, a 9-year-old.
Okay. It sounds like the two of you. You obviously got the better look of this person because you're talking
Yeah.
to him. She's kind of in the back. Okay. So moving forward, what did you guys talk about? What did this male say to you?
He drove up, and I said, "Can I help you?" And he said, "I said, who are you?" And he said, "I'm Mark. I'm looking for Johnny Spooner." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I'm looking for his vehicle. He faulted on his first payment." I said, "Well, Johnny's not here. How did you get this address?" And he did not reply on that. I said, "How did you get my address? Who are you? Or who are you from?" He never would tell me.
Okay, but he said his name was Mark?
He said his name was Mark.
Okay. And
He
so...
said, I'm Mark. I'm from the... he didn't say finance company. He said, he said, "I'm here looking for the truck. I'm from something." He defaulted on his... Yeah, he did say he was from the finance company. He defaulted on his first payment. And I was just freaking out because what finance company comes to your house like that? When they come to your house, they're coming with a record and going to pull it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does sound a little odd to me.
I mean, I've had cars repoed. I know how it works.
Yes, ma'am.
They wait till you sleep and they come and get it.
You wake up and it's gone. All right, so I know you said you guys spoke to about 5 minutes. Is there any more conversation? Did he ask where he could find Johnny or anything else that happened?
He asked me where was Johnny.
Okay.
Or did I know where he was? And I said, no, at this point, he's missing. I told him, I said, he is missing. He said, well, I'm sorry. Before he left, he said, what do you mean missing? I said, he is missing. People are looking for Johnny right now. And he said, well, I'm sorry he's missing.
Did he seem surprised by that?
Kinda.
Okay. All right.
Kinda did.
Okay. Anything else he said?
Nope. He just said he was looking for the truck. He was looking for that truck. And me and Johnny had already had that conversation, so I didn't think twice about it. And until he left, and he's like, "We should have got his phone. Mommy, you should have told him he stayed here." Because I said and I said, "How did you get my?" Yes, I did. I said, "How did you get my address? How do you know where I?" And he said something about someone told me he had been staying here.
Okay, and I can tell you didn't do anything wrong. I mean, what you said to him. I don't want you to beat yourself up about anything. I know you keep saying I should have. You did fine. I mean, you're out here. You're making your way.
It's so sad this boy's found face down. Can you please just tell me this is a family friend? I've known him his whole life. Did they shoot him?
I can't tell you.
When will it be released to the public?
When it's not important to the investigation anymore. And you're like family to this man, so you deserve a better explanation than that. We as the police department, I'm not trying to keep anything. I'm not trying to not tell you guys.
Stephanie didn't even want to tell me last night until she said, "I have to tell her. I have to tell you."
And I understand you're like family. Legally, first off, we got to tell the family
before anyone else, and even they don't know.
Oh Lord, I understand.
The other
Got your
piece,
hands full with them.
yes, ma'am. And the other piece of that is that's useful information. If it's not public information and someone knows how he died, that obviously tells us that they may be involved in some way.
Right.
If it's public information and everybody knows that, we can't say whether they knew it because they heard it from somebody or they knew it because they were there. So that truly can impede, our investigation. So please understand, you deserve to know. I certainly hope that when this is all done, you can get some closure.
I just hope he died quick because the boy was a Christian and he was a good boy.
Yes, ma'am.
That boy didn't smoke pot. He didn't do meth. What he did was Adderall, and I think what happened is he tried to. This Eric Sweeney, y'all, please get this Eric boy in there and drill this boy for about 12, 14 hours. You're going to find out what happened.
Okay.
I promise you that, to a certain extent, because Johnny would go out and try to sell his Adderall. And he was going to let me borrow the truck the next day, and he come in here, and he said, I'm going to go sell some more medicine. Johnny, I said, please don't do that. It's very late.
Sure. Let me ask you, is that recent, or are you talking about something that happened a while ago?
That was back.
All right.
So I'm thinking that maybe Eric was the one that would always say, go sell your medicine, go do this. I got this guy who wants this. We can make some money. I can do this. I overheard him texting and I overheard him talking, okay? Because
this was back in December.
Yeah, Johnny slept in here the night that he stayed with me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I slept in here on my mattress because it was so cold.
Sure.
But he wanted to stay, and Rachel's boyfriend had came home out of town, and he didn't want him staying out there, so I let him come and stay in here.
Okay.
And I could, hear.
Well, I can
things,
tell you, we have talked to Sweeney. We're going to do everything that we can possibly do. But let me
he was
do
the
this.
first one to post anything, to say, where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? He's the first one. And him and Johnny have been fighting and arguing over this damn Adderall. I mean, to me, it's just. I think Mr. Sweeney knows way more than he wants to tell.
Okay.
And he's probably scared.
Well, let me ask you this: is there anything that Nikki's going to be able to tell me that you didn't already tell me about the truck?
Yeah. No, not about the truck.
Okay.
But about the situation with Eric and the pills.
Okay. All right. Let's do this then. Let me talk to her for a couple minutes. Obviously, I want to get her piece of that. Same rules. I got to kind of separate you from her. So maybe we can swap out, and that way I can get that background information that she has about the pills.
Okay.
Would that be okay?
Yes, that's absolutely fine. I'm gonna take this baby.
Okay. Yeah. Do whatever you got to do with kids.
Take him. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he did his mama. But I think the best information you're gonna get as far as the background on Eric and all that is through Rachel.
All right.
He was on daily contact with Rachel. They're been best friends forever.
Okay. So, and we're definitely going to talk to Rachel. So.
Let me get this baby and get Nicky in here to you.
All right.
Big boy.
So he'll text me, and I'll text him back. He'll ask me, do I need a ride to Colorado? He'll cash. If I ain't got no money, he'll cash out me some. If he need money, I'll cash out him. And then we got close. We got straight like that. Then he started taking me to work. Okay. Because my car was messed up. Like I said, I'll catch the bus, and when I get off, he'll come pick me up.
All right. One thing I want to do is place you in the road. Have you promised to tell me the truth? Would that be okay?
You're okay. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm a sworn law enforcement officer conducting an official criminal investigation. Any false statements made under oath can constitute perjury. Now, can you raise your hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that evidence you're going to present to me to be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Do you further understand that if you knowingly make a material misstatement of fact, if you lie on purpose, you've committed crime of perjury?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. All right. When's the last time you spoke with Johnny?
Okay, I cannot give you a specific date, but I can give you a time frame.
Sure.
Within the last few weeks.
Okay. So it wasn't like within the last 5 days. We're talking a couple weeks. Okay. All right. And I know we spoke to your mom about the truck that came up here. It sounds like she probably had a better view of all that. So I'm going to kind of keep that piece away. But I guess Eric Sweeney. to be Johnny's friend? What can you tell me about that?
Okay, I associate with Corey Benedict.
Okay.
It's a group band.
Okay.
Or a DJ that's trying to move up.
Yes, ma'am.
And they all, he's a promoter, and he promotes the group for the Moon and such, and Johnny was very close to him.
All right.
And I grew up with Johnny, and he's been my best friend. Not my best friend, but a long-term, just buddy.
Sure.
Whatever. So I knew him as association through him or whatever.
All right.
For many years. Eric, I never talked to him really directly. It's more,
okay.
hey, how are you doing? Thank you for inviting me to VIP, whatever.
Sure.
Like that. Okay. So what I know is that I seen an unknown vehicle come over here.
All right. How long ago are we talking?
About maybe 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay, so I walk over here to see who it was.
Sure.
Okay, and then they open the door and I look, and I'm like, Johnny, hey. And I was wondering, first thought, my new home, why wouldn't he come?
Yeah.
To my house.
Sure.
And
Is Johnny driving the car, or is he in the passenger seat?
It was him.
Okay. Was it his truck, or was it a different car?
It come to find out after I had talked to him for a minute that it was his new vehicle.
Okay. All right.
But he was just like a little paranoid.
Sure. Was there anybody with him?
No.
Okay, so it's just him.
He was alone.
What did the vehicle look like, Nikki?
It was a 4-door blue, a short SUV looking thing.
All right.
I don't really know.
Okay.
That's okay. Thank you.
Do you know?
Y'all know what it looks like, though, right?
Yeah. Well, we got to be careful what we can and can't say, but.
Okay.
What I was trying to do
it's
is
got
find out what the
black
car.
railings, I think, on the top, maybe, sort of.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to summarize what you said here for a little bit. So suffice it to say, you haven't had any contact with Johnny in a couple of weeks. That was your last contact. You explained to us how you know him, and I appreciate that. Do you have any information on anything that happened to him recently, or know any of his whereabouts, or have heard anything that might help us?
I do,
Okay.
but I'm assuming, I'm not sure it's a fact.
Okay. Well, go ahead and
Because the reason is because I took criminal justice and I'm kind of into law, so I'm kind of trying to put things together like that. But whenever I talked to him, he didn't want to talk to me for some reason. He was very standoffish. He didn't really want to give me too much information about nothing.
Okay.
But he was, he had medicine. He was on Adderall.
Okay.
Okay, and he was telling me it makes him very paranoid. He didn't want to take it, and he wanted to study, but it was the only way he could study to go to school.
Sure.
So he was over here trying to use his laptop and this and that, whatever. Okay, so my assumption is that he was trying to sell it.
Okay.
Eric Swaney and him had a relationship that Eric, I guess, didn't want nobody to know about because he had an image to maintain. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. They had a romantic relationship, but Eric didn't want that out there.
Right. Okay, so, and also, Johnny mentioned seeing a African-American boy that he had stuff at an apartment that he did not want to go back to because he was scared to go back to. And that's all he would tell me.
And this is
I
how
was
long
like,
ago?
why? I said, do you have a place to live? Where are you going? Why are you staying here? What is going on? And he
Yes,
wouldn't
ma'am.
tell me.
Timeline-wise, to help us take that piece and understand how important it is, how long ago was it that he told you that, about having an apartment and not wanting to go back?
Well, this all happened like within 2 days, and then I didn't talk to him after that.
Okay.
So
Within like 2 days recently, or within like 2 days, you said a couple weeks ago?
Then weeks ago.
Okay,
3
gotcha.
weeks ago.
Okay.
So I only talked to him for like 2 days.
Okay.
And it was like 4 or 5 paragraphs at a time, and then that was it. He didn't want to.
And you guys talked on Messenger?
No.
Oh.
Face to face.
Okay. So what's 4 or 5? Okay. So what's 4 or 5 paragraphs?
Just a couple sentences back and forth. He didn't want to like talk to me much.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. You're using that as a way to describe. Okay.
That's why I was confused why he didn't come directly to see me, because I thought that as a spooner, I grew up with him,
Sure.
his family, you know, he'd be excited to come see me.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You're doing good. Dan, do you have a good idea where that lot is?
I think we can find it with the last name.
Okay.
But he looked good though. He was
Sure.
thick. He was healthy.
Well, I certainly don't want to. I don't want to get you upset.
We don't want you to get worried or upset right now.
Yeah, I appreciate your help.
There you go. Just the breath.
I really do. Let's pause. I'll leave you guys with my contact stuff if you guys hear or think of something new. But what I'd like to do now is talk to Rachel. Is she around? Is that okay? You all right?
Yeah, I'm alright.
I'm sorry. I don't want you to get upset.
Tell us what's wrong.
I don't know. You can just talk.
Is there more you want to tell us, Nikki?
Is there something else that you're unsure if you should tell us, or you just?
I don't want to assume anything.
Well,
Hey,
here's what I need you to do.
Can you tell me, please?
What I need you to do is to make sure that you tell us everything that you can think of. Sometimes we are told things whenever we're investigating horrible things like this.
Right.
We're told things and it doesn't pan out. It doesn't match what we go and we look into and investigate. And it turns out that that wasn't something that was vital to our investigation. But sometimes whenever people tell us things that they thought that they should say, it pans out that that was the direction we needed to be going all along.
Right. That's how I feel like.
Yeah, if we don't get that information, we can't investigate it.
We don't know where to go with it.
So please, even if it's something you think, or I know you keep using the word assumption, please share it with us. It'll make you feel better, and it's something we can look into. So
let us eliminate it if it's not, and if it's not important to it, let us eliminate it. If it is important to us, we need to know.
Do we need to step outside?
Huh?
I said, do we need to step outside? I just see you kind of keep looking back.
I just don't know where he's getting these drugs from.
Okay.
Him, me, and Johnny.
Yeah.
What drugs?
This medicine.
You talking about the Adderall or something else?
I don't know what the something else would have been. All I know is it was the Adderall, because that's all he would tell me.
Okay.
And he was saying he was very scared. To do certain things he didn't want to do.
Like what would be? Did he ever give you an example of what that would? What that would be?
He said, "I'm always on." He said, "He said, I'm always on the run and I'm paranoid all the time." Eric said it, and Eric's always mad at me, and I can't go back to where I need to go. And I said, "Why can't you go back to where you need to go?" And he said, "Because I'm scared." And that's all he said. But I kept trying to ask him, and he would just leave or walk away. But he wanted to tell me something, but he never would. But they're closer.
You think he told Rachel? You're thinking that he told Rachel. Okay.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate it.
It's important for us to know, Nikki. Thank you. I know it was hard to tell us, but I thank you for letting us know that. Okay.
Do you think Rachel's going to tell us?
I hope so.
You hope so? Okay. Where is she at? Right? Is she back? Do we need to go knock on her door, or is she outside?
She's on the phone.
Okay. All right. Well.
You want to get her for us?
All right. Thank you very much.
No,
we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. We're thankful to you.
I'll get this done.
Yes, ma'am.
I know I'm gonna hear from him.
Well, you're worried about him, right? You're like, hey man, what's up? Where you at? I got your debit card.
I asked him.
You asked him
where he was at.
You asked him where he was at?
Yeah, because he was supposed to come back.
So
I know he was coming back.
Well, when he left, did he like pick a day that he was coming back for this like twice a week deal y'all got going on?
No, I know. You know I'm going to work.
All right, so we're gonna have a private conversation. Obviously, we've been talking to everybody individually. That's the way we have to do these things, right? One of the things I wanted you to promise me is to tell me the truth while we're talking. I'm gonna place you under oath. It elevates the evidentiary value of our conversation, but beyond that, I really need you to tell us everything, because that's what's gonna help us. People talking to us. So getting background information, learning new things, that's why we're here. So I am a law enforcement officer. This is an official investigation that we're conducting. Any false statements made under oath, which is I'm going to place you under, constitute perjury. It's a misdemeanor. It's a crime, basically. So if you would, ma'am, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear from evidence you're going to present to me, what you're going to tell me is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Do you further understand that if you knowingly make material misstatement of fact, legal fancy way of saying if you lie on purpose, you've committed crime of perjury?
I do understand.
Okay, so let's take a step back. How did you and Jonathan know each other, just in general?
Jonathan and I met probably almost 20 years ago.
Okay.
Somewhere between 16 and 20 years ago, somewhere in that range. I met him through this family here.
Okay.
And his mother and my ex-mother-in-law, Tina, were best friends.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they would, they like to have their mom time where they got to go up and have fun. And
sure.
I would go over to her house because all of her kids, most of her kids were younger.
Yes.
And her nieces and nephews, and I would go and babysit so they could go out, and that was essentially how Jonathan and I met. He was a little older than the rest of them, and he, first time I was over there, he heard me singing and just loved it, and called his friends on the phone immediately and made me sing for them on the phone.
Jeez.
So.
Okay.
So we've known each other for a long time, and we've kept contact in and out throughout this whole time.
All right. Well, that's good for us. Let's talk about that contact. Okay. What's the last time you had any communication with Johnny?
The last communication that I had with Johnny was on January 17th at 9:25 p.m. at night.
And how do you know that it's a very specific date and time? Is that something you checked your phone or an app for, or
my phone?
Okay.
And a lot of the contact that we've had lately has been through Messenger or phone calls, phone conversations, which I know.
And when you say Messenger, you mean Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Okay. And this January 17th communication at 9:20, was that via Messenger or was that a call or a text?
That was via Messenger.
Okay.
He had sent me some photos of himself. He looked really good, like maybe he was going out somewhere, but I could tell he was in his car. And I have all this too.
Okay.
And then I don't know why he always did this, but he got paid early, I guess, because direct deposit. So every Wednesday, he would always send me, photos of pay stubs or work hours.
Sure.
So he sent me 2 photos of himself,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then 2 photos from his online job thing. It has his
Okay.
job information and everything on it. And
So he was proud of getting paid.
yeah, he was real proud of that because he had been telling me all week he was working overtime, and that's why he hadn't been by to see me lately because he
Sure.
would regularly come by.
Okay.
And so, and then right after that, he said, "Hey, hon, what you doing?" He said he had a 3-day weekend and he missed me. He wanted to see me. We were going to do a gift exchange.
Okay.
Because we never got a chance to around the holidays. He had said he had gifts for me and my kids.
All right.
And we had a gift for him, which is still sitting out there. And we never got to do that. That never happened.
Okay.
And that was basically the last
communication. And so it sounds like you guys mostly lifelong friends. You've always kept up with each other. You're one of those people that he's sending updates to, or he wants to brag about it. Wants you to know how he's doing in life and this kind of thing. So, unfortunately, in investigating deaths, there's normally one of a number of things that lead to someone getting killed. So I know we're talking about the good things here, right? He's got his job, his pay stubs. What else do you know about him and that he could be involved in?
In the beginning of December, I want to say around this, maybe I would have to check my phone to be sure, which is what I was trying to go back and do out there to be sure dates and times. But I've already been over like 1,000 times.
Sure, I'm sure you have.
I believe it was December 2nd he contacted me. It had actually been a while. It actually might have been like maybe 6 months to a year since I had heard from him at this point.
Okay.
He contacted me out of the blue and was, "Hey, hon, how you doing? I miss you."
Sure.
And before I could even respond to that, he was telling me, "I'm cold, I'm sick, I'm living in my car, I have no place to stay, can I just come stay with you just for a night?"
Sure.
Blah, 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 and because this is Miss Tina's property, he didn't want to upset her.
Right.
And I told him right away, I said, "Sure, no problem, come see me, don't worry about it, I'll take care of Tina. Don't worry about it, just come on, bring me something, come on." And he did. And he stayed with me most of the month of December.
Okay.
He lived here.
Yes, ma'am.
With me. And one of the first things that I noticed that was a little unusual about him, but not too unusual because he was always, his whole life, he was just always paranoid about everything. He didn't like getting in trouble. He never wanted to do the wrong things. He was always wanted people to accept him.
Sure.
So he was always trying to do all the right things. But he had a tendency to always preach to him about, don't be a follower, be a leader. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. He was pressured a lot. And so we've had that conversation on and off for years. And
what were the things he got pressured into?
He got his friends wanted him to go. His friends would want him to go out when he really didn't feel like going out. Drinking to the clubs and stuff. And but he was super, super, super duper paranoid the whole time he was here. I noticed it right off that more than normal.
Okay. So there's something that he was looking out for.
Yeah, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but I try not to push people too much. If you want to talk to me, talk to me. If not, I understand.
Sure.
And then he started talking about his car and being on the run with his car.
Okay, tell me more about that. What did he say about being on a run with his car?
This wasn't until after he had been here for about a week or so, maybe a little week.
So this is mid-December then?
Yeah. He was at work, he was on break, he messaged me and he was like, hey, hon, I just wanted to let you know, finally got my car all taken care of. I'm fully legal. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to borrow the car to take Kayla to school, blah blah.
He's trying to be helpful, repay your generosity.
Right, because he would try to do different things, and I could tell him I don't even think it's
Sure.
fine. It's I'm here to help. I know I'm going a little bit off, but one of the first things that struck me as odd, and that's how I knew he was desperate. When he first contacted me about staying here, he was, I can give you $20, I can do this, I can help you with stuff, and then he threw out, I don't know if you take it or if you need it or if you're into it, but I've even got some Adderall I can give you.
Okay.
And I was like, well, it's just like, well, thank you for all the offers and everything, but I don't need anything to spring yourself. Come on.
Sure. So, did you know him to go around selling Adderall or
No.
anything? Or okay.
No. He was always very, he always was very nervous about things like that. He didn't want to get involved in things like that. He didn't want to be a part of that.
Do you know if he had a prescription for it or if he was buying it somewhere?
He had a prescription for it.
Okay, so he's
well,
getting...
I believe he did. He told me that he had a prescription for it, that it was his, because he was always sending information to prove himself.
Okay. Do you know anything about his relationship with Eric Sweeney?
I know that they have been friends for many, many years.
Okay.
And I always thought highly of Eric myself until one particular night he was staying here with me. Johnny was. And he was getting frustrated, and I asked him if he was okay, and then he starts telling me this whole spiel about how Eric had always been his best friend and helped him with stuff, and so he would give Eric some of his Adderall or whatever prescriptions he had, and he wouldn't charge him for it. Okay. And because he was hard up for money, he started charging Eric for it. He said Eric was a little bit aggravated about that at first.
What was he hard up for money for? Do you know, does he owe people money? Did he give you any clues as to what was going on with that situation?
Not really. I think it was just the fact that he didn't, from what he told me, it was just that, that he didn't have a place to stay. He was looking for a place, and he was just... had only been with this job for so long at that point, and had just got this new car and was trying to get on his feet, and he was trying to make it. He was trying to survive, and so he would stay in hotels off and on. I even have a message in there where the heater had stopped working out there. Okay. And he was apologizing to me and saying that he just wanted to stay in a warm bed and do his homework, and that he was going to get I've never even heard of it, but a little $20 bunker room.
Right. All right. Well, Rachel, you're giving me some good background information, and I want to ask about a couple other pieces. So first, I'm just going to ask you directly: do you know anybody that would want to hurt him? No. Okay.
I can't think of anybody that would want to hurt.
The other piece: do you know anybody that he was any significant romantic relationships? Anything that had gone bad or ended, or that he was with recently?
Not that I know of. The only thing that I found extremely odd, because he's not one to really go that far out of his way, because he's so paranoid about everything, and he was always so worried about making it to work on time. It was a key thing for him.
It was important to him. He wanted to be able to work on time.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had come by here, and we were talking right outside on my porch and smoking a cigarette. And he said, "Oh my God, Rachel, I can't believe I did what I did last night." And I said, "Okay, well, what did you do?" And he said, "I drove all the way to Alabama last night."
Oh, okay.
And then drove all the way back this morning and still made it to work on time. I'm so proud of myself. And I was like, "What did you go to Alabama for?" And he said, "Well, I have this friend there, and I got to take a shower and wash clothes." And I said, "A friend?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "A guy friend or a girlfriend?" And he said, "A guy friend." And he started smiling, and I said, "Oh, a guy friend."
And how long ago was that?
That was...
that December or before that?
It was like... it was right before Christmas. It was towards the end of December.
Okay. All right.
And that's just not
Out of character.
Yeah, he would have not driven that far in the middle of the night like that. That's not.
Gotcha. Can you think of anything else that might help us in moving forward? Anything else we need to know, or anything else that's significant?
Well, I just think that the one thing that just really bothers me, because I begged him not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I begged him to just stay with me, but Eric was pushing him. He was pressuring him, like hard, like real bad.
To do
His
what?
phone was bing, 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 bing.
To do what?
Eric really wanted the Adderall.
Oh, okay.
And he was wanting Johnny to come meet him in all these odd places, and I kept begging. I said, do not do it.
Do you know any of the odd places? Like, what are we talking about? We're talking stores?
Okay, the first place that he suggested meeting him was at the Moon. See, because Johnny didn't want to go out at all that night.
Sure,
He did not want to do it, and he kept doing that. I don't want to do this. What do I do, Rachel? I don't want to do this. I said, don't do it.
So, Rachel, did this happen just the one time, this one specific incident to the Moon, or is this more of a common thing towards the end of December?
According to the way Johnny put it, it was quite frequent.
Okay.
But it was the weekend, and I guess he was already out at the Moon, Eric was, and he wanted to come there, and Johnny didn't want to meet in public anywhere. He just didn't want to do it. He was trying to say, well, why don't you meet me here, or meet me there, or blah, 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 blah. And, I don't want to get myself in any trouble or whatever, but I was trying to get him to stay here, and I was like, just tell him to come right here to my driveway, as long as he wasn't going out there. And then Johnny kept saying, no, I don't want to meet the Moon, that's too much of a public place. And then he was suggesting a gas station over.
Okay, so it sounds like mostly businesses that they go to, like public places.
Yeah, the only place, and the one place that he mentioned, and I told Jonathan, I said, do not go over there. I said, don't do it. I said, if you have to go to the Moon, go to the Moon, go to the gas station, do not go over there. And it was this, I don't know the name of the road, but all I know is that it's on that stretch of Monroe between Gale Avenue and Paul Russell. I don't know the name of the road, but I know that that's a bad area, and where the Sunoco is, there's been a lot of stabbings and bad stuff happened there, and I just know that it's not a good area, and I said, go anywhere but there.
Okay, was this a place he was requested to go, or you just told him not to go there?
That he was telling me that Eric was trying to get him to
Go
to a friend's house or something that was over there. And I said, don't go over there.
Okay.
I said, don't do that. And then...
Okay, so if we were going into town, between Paul Russell is the closest in the town. If we're in the Sunoco there, if we're going into town on Monroe, we turn right to go to the road you were talking about, or the left to go to the road we were talking about?
No, it would be on the right, because the only thing on the left is the Circle K, and then you gotta go. The only other thing past the Circle K, I think, is Paul Russell.
Okay, so it's in the neighborhoods or the road behind the Sunoco? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, do not go there. I said, don't go there. I said, promise me you will not go there. I was begging him, and he said, I won't go there, I won't go there. And then he went outside and smoked a cigarette, and he came back in, and he said, I'm just going to get dressed up and meet Eric at the Moon and just hang out there with him for a little while, and then I'm going to leave. And he messaged me the entire time he was gone, all the way up until he came back to me, because I was worried to death.
So, he and Eric, were they just friends? Were they ever romantic? Do you know?
No, never romantic that. No, never like that. Not that I'm aware of.
Gotcha.
They've been best friends for a long time. Him and Eric and his sister, all of us have been friends.
Close friends.
We all used to hang out back, before I had kids, and when we would go to the clubs and stuff. They've continued on with it, but
Gotcha. When did Johnny leave from down here? When did he stay with you last?
I want to say the last day that he stayed with me, like actually stayed with me, I want to say it was the 18th. It was like right there before
Of January?
Of
December.
December. But he would, even though he wasn't like staying here, like living here anymore, he would come by like every day. He would still come by every day, and he has talked to me. He had talked to me every day since he left. Every day up until the 17th of January. He messaged me every day. He told me he loved me, he missed me, what are you doing?
And then that was the last day.
Filling me in on his whole entire day. That's what we did back and forth.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Why did it stop?
Do what?
Why did he stop messaging you?
January 17th was the last time.
And why did he stop messaging you?
Why?
Do you know?
No, I have no idea. The last thing I told him, he was wanting to come see me, and I was telling him, because that was the 17th was a Friday, I think, and I was saying, yeah, I told him, I messaged him. My last messages to him were, we're gonna be here. I have just a few errands to run tomorrow morning, but yeah, come on, we want to see you too. And I had just found out early, like 6 o'clock that morning, Friday morning, that my dad was in AFib in the hospital. They basically said he got a stroke or something. And my last message, very last message was my dad had a stroke. And that was at 10:04 at night. His last message was at 9:25, and my message to him was at 10:04. And then it showed where the bubble drops down, where it shows where he's seen it.
Right.
But he never responded, and that wasn't like him. He would have, oh my God, Rachel, oh my God, is he okay? What's going on? That's what he would have done.
Out of character for him. And picking up on something you said earlier, I think we were talking about this. You said you guys stopped coming by because you said he was working a lot of overtime. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, he kept saying they were. There's a picture of him with a paper. It says project plan on it from work, I guess. They were working on some kind of project. So he was working a lot of overtime, and that was, I think, from the 8th of January, I think was the last physical time that I actually saw him, laid eyeballs on him. And in that week, from the 8th to, I counted that it was like a week, exactly 7 days. And I was surprised because in those 7 days, we actually hadn't made contact with each other, and I didn't realize that.
Time's just flying by.
And then I think he messaged me on the 14th, and then we were talking every day again after that.
Gotcha.
Up until the 17th.
All right. Well, if we come across anything where I need to ask any questions in the future, is it okay if I give you a call?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking with the family.
Whatever else.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, we appreciate your help, man.
We appreciate everything y'all are trying to do.
Thank you for your time. You have a good afternoon.
To this outfit, and this outfit's in your trash can. And this, like I said, it's just a small piece.
Right.
But we can agree that doesn't look good for you.
Right, but at the same time, man, that ain't like no whole jacket. Like what that man got on, that's just like a hood. And I don't know what fuck that came from.
Yeah.
I definitely don't.
Right. Well, I don't think you're telling me the truth on that, but we can go back to it.
I'm telling the truth on everything.
You telling me the truth on everything?
Everything. I ain't got nothing to lie.
So, this is you. We both know that's you. That's a picture of you from the other day.
Yeah,
on Tallahassee. Okay. And you said you got Spooner's debit card.
Yeah.
Never used it.
Nope.
Okay, well, this is you fixing to use Spooner's debit card wearing the same jacket. Like I said, we got a shitty printer, but we got a lot more. We got the whole video on it, but that's your same jacket, and unfortunately, that's Spooner's hat, bro. But let's talk about what else you did to him. You ever try to light him on fire?
Hell no. Hell no. That's savage as fuck.
Uh-huh.
7 months before he beat a friend to death with a hammer, Timothy Floyd was released from prison after serving sentences for conviction for grand theft and cocaine possession. At 37 years old, Timothy was striving to rebuild his life. He lived in a home in Tallahassee, Florida. Lacking personal transportation, Timothy opted to minimize his use of ride-sharing services like Lyft. Instead, he forged a friendship with 28-year-old Jonathan Spooner, a college graduate who was, for different reasons, also in a transitional phase, working to stabilize his life and figuring out a way to earn enough income to afford a place to live. The arrangement between Timothy and Jonathan was simple. In exchange for transportation assistance, Timothy occasionally provided Jonathan a place to shower and sleep. However, what initially seemed like a mutually beneficial arrangement turned sour when a hostile altercation erupted at Timothy's place. At around 9:40 a.m. on January 25, 2020, an alarm activation prompted police to respond to a vacant residence where they discovered Jonathan's body wrapped in blankets and his head encased in plastic. An autopsy revealed that Jonathan had been bludgeoned with a hammer approximately 7 or 8 times. The police canvassed the neighborhood to determine if anyone had useful information. Soon they came upon Timothy Floyd, a neighbor who lives across the street from where the body was found. Initially, Timothy portrayed himself as an innocent neighbor who heard nothing and saw nothing. Timothy, however, volunteered that on the night before he had gone somewhere via Lyft, between about 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. He told investigators that he would have seen the body at the property if it had been there when he left or returned, and this left investigators to believe that the body had been dumped there sometime between 7 a.m. and the time the alarm at the property went off that morning. However, through a thorough investigation of camera footage, statements from Jonathan's co-workers, Jonathan's phone records, and examination of financial records, the truth was exposed. Jonathan had been actually missing for a few days, since January 22, and he had been with Timothy at various places that day. It appeared to investigators that Timothy forced Jonathan to miss work and forced Jonathan to use his debit card for purchases and to withdraw funds from his account. So, it turned out that the victim, Jonathan, and Timothy were acquainted, and all evidence pointed to Timothy as the culprit. Investigators obtained a search warrant to search Floyd's home, and when serving the warrant, they transported Timothy Floyd to the police department for a video-recorded interview.
It's cold in this shit.
Yeah, I think you'll be over here.
I didn't mean to kill out. I ain't even do that.
Yeah, you should drop those too.
I didn't mean to do that to that man.
Jonathan has been described by friends and relatives who mourn his loss as a vibrant individual who easily connected with those around him. He graduated from Florida State University in 2014 with a double major in psychology and criminology. He seemed to possess a keen intellect and a compassionate nature. Despite Timothy's attempts to defend himself during the trial, the jury ultimately did not find him credible, in part because of his past criminal history and the fact that he had recently been released from a Florida prison. He was sentenced to life in prison following his convictions for count 1 and 3, manslaughter with a weapon and credit card theft. Judge Stephen Everett was the judge presiding over the case. Floyd was convicted on November 9, 2022 of manslaughter with a weapon in a 2-day trial. Floyd qualified for 2 sentencing enhancements: prison release reoffender and habitual felony offender. Until next time.